Yeah, this is Jay from A Stitch in Time in Bemidji, Minnesota, down in Orlando for Brothers Back to Business Day, or a few days here for us dealers to find out about all the new machines. And it's been quite a big day. We had the opening presentation this morning where they introduced the machines to us, and then we actually got to go play with some of the machines. And for 2 hours, I got to sit down with the new Brother Luminare XP1. And I came into this a little skeptical because I knew the MSRP was about $5,000 higher than the Dream Machine, and I was wondering how they're going to justify that with new features or things to make it worth that much. And so I really wanted to see them do well with this, but I had my doubts about that. Well, they came out with several new machines this year, not just the Luminaire, but the Luminaire is the biggest one. So I'd like to talk a lot about that machine today, and I'll have some other updates later. The first thing you notice about this machine is its size. It is significantly larger than the Dream Machine. The Dream Machine has just over 11 inches of space to the right of the needle. The Luminaire has 13.1 inches to the right of the needle. That also allows them to increase the hoop size up to 10 5/8 inches by 16 inches. And so that's a significant increase over the Dream Machine, which was a huge hoop before that. One of the problems they've had with hoops that are that big, though, is getting proper tension around the edges. And different companies have made little clips to try and keep proper tension. Well, they have redesigned this hoop with metal bracing and a new cam lock on the bottom that makes it easier to get good tension, and also as our fingers get a little older and stiffer, to get that nice and tight. And so there was two things that made it a lot bigger. Now, one thing is this is not going to be necessarily a really portable machine. It does weigh about 8 pounds more than the Dream Machine, and so that puts it up there right around 48 pounds for the machine. And so that's a significant increase for the size there. One of the big features of the Luminaire is their projector. Now, Brother has gotten projectors from somewhere, I don't know where, but they have gotten them and made them so they can actually project an image down onto your material. And I've uploaded a couple videos that show how this works in the sewing side. I will upload more videos towards the end of the week when we get to the embroidery side, maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. I'm not sure what day I have that class. But in the sewing side, it's really handy because you can actually see the stitch on the machine, and it is really crisp and clean, and so it allows you to actually position embroidery designs right where you want them because it truly live places it. It also gives you a perfect stitch placement by putting a grid. There's some pictures in the folder that I put online there. A perfect grid that you can space the grid from 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch to 1 inch to 3/4 inch. You can have there's lots of different adjustments you can put in there. It's actually 1/2 millimeter at a time how big you want your grid size to be, but that way you can perfectly place your lines parallel to something else that you might have. For quilters, I was really excited because we've really enjoyed the laser line that was available on the V Series and on the Dream Machine, but now they've taken that to ×2. Because now you get to have two lines, both the line where your stitch is going to be at and another guideline just a little bit away. You can set that guideline however far away you want, and you can have different colors. So a red line where you're stitching on, a green line where your edge of your fabric goes. And not only does that give you straight lines, but you now have a 90-degree angle, a 60-degree angle for doing perfect Y seams, and a 45-degree angle for doing your half square triangles. And this makes it so that when you're doing star quilts or you're doing some of those patterns, you can get those perfect Y seams. You can see exactly where your needle is going to be placed and have the guidelines there to prove it. They also, in the quilting side of things, they have an easy to change needle plate, and the new needle plates for the quilting side of it have those angles stamped in them as well. So it's not just the laser light that guides you, it's also those angles. One of the things I also like about the stitch preview is this stitch going to actually fit in this fabric? What is this going to look like? And one of the other videos I put up there shows how you can select your different stitches using your stylus and the projector to actually place them where you want them to be, and that you can actually scroll through design after stitch after stitch after stitch to choose the one that you like best on that fabric. And as you adjust it, it adjusts the width and the length so you can see exactly what it's going to look like. The other thing that kind of blew me away, because I can just see the possibilities exploding going forward from here, is that the buttonhole foot, they redesigned it. And instead of having the button back around behind the machine, it now sits up in the front. And they have some special markings on the buttonhole foot that enables the projector and the camera to use those things to measure how big your button is without you having to pull down any lever or anything at all. You just put your button in there, it measures it automatically and makes a buttonhole just by pushing down the foot pedal. No extra settings required. I thought that was really, really a neat feature. One of the other things I noticed about this machine is that it is a very well built machine. If you look on the folder that I have for the Luminare, there are pictures showing a clear outer cover. And I really like that because it shows you the inner workings of these machines. Now I can name some other brands that we have had in for service, high-end, $8,000-$10,000 machines, that when we take the covers off inside, there's hardly anything in there. In fact, some of them are putting heavy metal plates on the bottom of them just to give them some weight and stability. With Brother, you can see right inside, these things are built heavy duty. You can see the heavy duty size of the shafts. You can see all the quality parts working in there, and it's really amazing how well it was built. But with that, it also is quieter. Normally when you turn on your machine, you hear that little the embroidery module going to its own position and coming back. That has been reduced to, I don't want to give a whole thing, but I'm going to say half of the noise that it was before. And they're using different motors in there. They also switched to a brushless motor in the whole machine. So the machine, by standards, by measuring standards, is over 15% quieter than the original Dream Machine. It also has a faster ramping up speed. So when it starts off, it'll start off and speed up. It now has ramping up speeds that are closer to our multi-needle, to our more professional lines of machines. So the difference in embroidery speed between the 10 needles and this is not going to be as much as it was before. A couple other things is that it has built-in Wi-Fi. You no longer have to use the SD card. And one of the features is when you use the PE Design 11 software, you're going to be able to both send and receive designs from the machine. So if I've customized this, everything the way I want it to be, I can now send it to my computer for storing. I no longer have to use a USB stick at all if I want to. So price, what are we talking about for pricing? Well, the MSRP on this machine is $19,999, and that is a humongous number. I make no bones about that. It is $5,000 higher than the Dream Machine. Now, as you know, most nobody sells the Dream Machine at MSRP. And so, is the machine going to be sold at $20,000? Probably by some who want to make as much as they can from right out of the gate. I'm going to say that the majority of people probably are not, but how much they go below that is going to depend on the packages that they put together and when you buy. There's a premium package that's available for orders that are placed here. I want to bring that up just a little bit. Brother is putting together a tremendously good package of luggage, and it's a really nice luggage set for this machine. PE Design 11, I haven't even talked about that. That's a huge upgrade to the PE Design 10 in their software. And some threads and stabilizers and a bunch of about 2,500 designs. By the way, this machine has over 1,100 designs built into it. That's pretty amazing. Almost 200 designs of Disney. And so you have all those things built into it, and that package of luggage, stabilizer, thread, designs, PE Design 11 is only promised to the orders that we dealers place here at the event. So it's something that I don't want to push anyone into making a decision right away. But if you are serious about this, you need to call the store and get your name on the list and put your $500 down. Because what that does, that puts you in order, and we are not going to be able to get all the machines we want to get right now. They're going to be allocated as we place our orders, and we might order 5 machines, we might only get to bring home 2. And so these are some of the things that we need to be keeping in mind. But if you're interested, if you're seriously interested, call up the store today or tomorrow and put your $500 down, and that holds your place in line. When you see the machine in our shop, you can then say, yes, I'm committing to buying this machine, and that money gets placed directly towards the price of the machine. If you decide, nope, I'm not sure I want to buy this machine at this point, that money will be turned into store credit that you can use for anything else in the store. So you're not going to lose any of it whatsoever. But I would say, if you're serious about it, get in line. We already have 3 people signed up as of this afternoon. This is going to probably happen quickly. The other thing I want to also point out is that we have scheduled a lecture demo. We're bringing a brother educator in on August 24th and 25th. Now, this is going to be the same presentation on the 24th as it is on the 25th. So we will be taking registrations for that. I'm guessing we're going to be having 12 to 15 people per day. It'll be held in our store. It is going to be a lecture demo. There will be a light lunch served. Partway through that, I hope to have registration up on our website within the next 6 to 12 hours. Hopefully by tomorrow morning it will be up there. And that will be limited though for those people in those days. So if you're really interested, that is going to be a free time to come and take a look at it. Make sure you get that registered as soon as possible. Go to Bemidji, SEWBEMIDJI.com and get registered for that as soon as possible. Well, it's a long video, but I'm tell you what, I'm pretty impressed, and I haven't even gotten to the embroidery yet. But I'll post my thoughts on that when that happens. Thanks much. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.